let's try and dissect about the market and which direction the markets are headed. We have Rahul Sharma who's joining us on the show right now. A very good afternoon to you, Rahul. Sorry for keeping you waiting, given the fact what's the Supreme Court verdict and what's happened to actually Vodafone Idea and Indus. Should I start with that itself? Actually, what's your take coming in on both of these counters, Vodafone Idea and Indus? While when you talk about the news flow, you thought things were getting better for Vodafone Idea. There was some scope of revival, but that's definitely not how it's playing right now, given the fact the Supreme Court order is negative and will have a negative impact.
Yes, so speaking technically, the stock has broken its crucial support area of 12.512, and it has been like a nosedive for the stock of sorts in today's session. Now, what that opens up is a room for more downside, and the next psychological level that we can see is at around 10. But technically speaking, the crucial support is coming in around 9 rupees. So that is another 20% down move that can happen, especially the way the sell-off has been there today. Now, speaking of Indus Tower, which has been relatively doing well, this has also sort of broken down from its short-term moving averages, and the meaningful support for this one is placed around the 355, 360 mark. So, in terms of percentage, the support is closer for Indus Tower, and the stock may see some bit of cooling off consolidation happen around the 360 mark. But speaking of Vodafone Idea, clearly below the 12 level, we expect more weakness to continue in the same.
All right. What about the markets then? How is the markets looking to you, actually, Rahul? Let me actually narrow down my question further. What about the broader markets at this point in time? Because it is down and out in trade today, both the mid cap index, the small cap index. Which sort of a direction do you think this is leading to? Is there any scope of a bounce back, or you will see some more correction in store?
It's kind of a milestone top that we made today. So in the very short term, we are expecting the correction to continue in the Nifty. So today's high could possibly act as a crucial supply area, and we may see the Nifty drift downwards towards 25,000 on the downside. Now, having said that, it is some of the areas of the market which are looking good in spite of the weakness that we are witnessing today. One is FMCG space, which looks pretty solid. Then we have private banks, which are performing and where we could see upward movement continue. So in bits and pieces, we are expecting markets to do well. We are bullish on the large cap private banking space as well as the large cap FMCG space. Barring that, everything else looks like it has gone into profit booking mode, and the current correction that we are witnessing can get extended over the next few trading sessions. So if you speak of macro, we may get into a broad consolidation of 1,000 points, where 25,500, 25,600 is the upper end of the spectrum, and on the lower side, we may head towards the 24,500 mark. So time correction is something that we are expecting for the markets to see. Globally, also there has been a sell-off last night, and it seems like we should not see supporting cues, especially from the global markets. So the next few weeks, I think this has to be the texture of the market, which is extremely range bound with a bit of a negative bias. That is something that we are expecting the markets to play.
And lastly, sir, before we let you go, how's the metal index looking like? Because globally, we have seen some kind of a recovery when it comes to metal prices, but metal index has been continuously falling in trade. How is that index looking like?
Yeah, so metal index is relatively still better as compared to some of the sectoral indices. This was one of the first sector to go into a correction even before there were jittery moves in the broader market. So our sense is the index has bottomed out around the 8,800 mark. The higher high, higher low setup is still intact, and this could be a good buying opportunity to get into metals. And as far as the index is concerned, we are seeing this index head towards the 9,800 to 10,000 mark. And buy on dips is something that we are recommending to the clients in the metal space.
All right, Rahul, before we let you go, so what are your picks in this sort of a market that one can look at?
Yeah, so like I said, FMCG and private banks. On the private banking space, we like Kotak Mahindra Bank. The stock has given a breakout in the last couple of trading sessions. And structurally, we are bullish for targets of 1950 to 2000 on Kotak Mahindra Bank. Can be bought with 1800 as a stop loss. On the FMCG space, we like Tata Consumers. So on the slightly medium-term charts, the stock has been forming a cup and handle formation on the daily charts. So we are expecting this breakout to happen once the stock crosses the 1240 mark. The stock can be accumulated at these levels with a stop loss of 1150. And structurally, we see the stock heading towards the 1400 mark. So these are two ideas which we like on the long side, both of them on the large cap space and looking pretty solid on the technical charts.
Well, thank you all for joining us and for giving us those details and for putting things into perspective.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.